I'm building my dream art studio in my basement, but we got a couple things to do, and it's mainly tech related this week. We've got to route some cables, move some tech stuff in, a bunch of things like that to get us fully operational in the space. So let's get started. We've got to get these dangling lights all set up, and we bought channel diffusers, so it'll kind of diffuse the light, be a little softer, and mount well into wood. So yeah, we'll get that set up. I tell you what, having a workspace to set things on and, you know, unpack and stuff, it's a little thing, but it's really nice. All right, this is a clip system, so I'm just gonna mark out right in the middle of these boards, 4 feet, so I can guarantee that things line up right. All right, there's a little bit of guesswork there, but should be close enough. Gonna go crazy. These are always the tiniest little screws. It's also a very awkward angle. There's a better way to do this. Just tell me in the comments. I'm gonna drill pilot holes. Think that's the only way to move forward. We're gonna test the structural integrity of this thing. All right, that's the way to do it. I really hope watching someone put screws for a light strip panel is exciting, because apparently you're watching this and you have nothing better to do with your life than to watch some random dude on the internet struggle with stupid basic construction stuff. As you can see, it's a little crooked. As it went on, I figured out how to install them best. We're gonna have to go back through and fix these. I also realized I didn't order enough, so I'm gonna have to order more. In the meantime, we can get our monitor moved over, which feels like a final. Once I can get my computer on here and turned on, it'll be perfect. Yeah, that feels really good. Got to get a mouse pad and stuff, but that feels good. All right, let's route some cables. Route our HDMI down. My goal is to have just a ultra clean cable management setup, so you hardly view anything. I think I'm actually gonna route the power cable down there. I know I have power back here, but then I have cable hanging out, and I don't really want that, so we're gonna route the power cable under. Now we can get our computer plugged in, get our monitor power plugged in, hide cables down here, and then get our HDMI plugged in. Need to get our headphones routed as well, or sorry, our stereo, so we can get some, well, I guess we need to connect our speakers too. Duh. But we'll start with connecting this to our computer. Actually, while we're down here, let's get some speaker wire cut through here. We've already got our speakers connected. We can just wire it through, push it back here. For the left speaker, lock the other side in, and then we got to cut new cable wire for our other one. Benefit now is we can cut things to size and not have to do guesswork. We'll route it back, up. That is a cobbled mess, and that's more than enough. Thread it through, thread it up, put it up here. I actually ironically think this is going to be barely long enough. Yeah, no, it's literally going to be barely long enough. All right, Spotify's loaded. Let's test this out. Cool. At some point I want to get kind of surround sound if I can, at least a subwoofer, but we'll start with these left and rights for now. Be perfect while we're printing, doing stuff. We can have some sweet audio. I feel like we've lost the art of amazing audio. Bring back sound system. I've always wanted like the monitor backlights, like for your TV or monitor or whatever, that kind of like matches the screen. I just bought them, so we're just gonna install those real fast. All set up. We'll see how well that is cable managed. Pretty freaking sweet. We'll mount the switch on the back as well. We can plug it in the bottom and route it up, and do our best to keep our cable management intact. All right, we got the test working. I think it's finally working. It's a little buggy. I think it's a Wi-Fi issue. I got to figure out the best way to get Wi-Fi down here. I might have to hardwire it, which means running probably a 100-foot long cable, because that literally just froze a video. For some reason, my PC, on the same network, my phone gets 25 to 50 megabytes per second, which is not great. This gets like 0.1. I don't know what's wrong with my PC. I don't know if it's a driver. I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi card. I don't know what it is, but it's always been terrible, and I can't figure out how to make it better. I've even got an extender down here. That's not working. I don't know. If you know what's happening, if this issue is common, just let me know in the comments because it's very frustrating. But either way, this is really fun. Like, this is working really well. It just needs Wi-Fi to connect, so it's a little buggy. So like you can see, it's pretty freaking cool. I mean, you may not see it too well for this game, but I think it's pretty freaking sweet. Peep the team here too. Maybe a New Union Madden Rebuild gameplay series next. I don't know. Might get crazy. But either way, this is fun. Is it practical? No. Do I need it? No. Is it freaking cool? Yeah. So I've spent the past about 2 hours drilling a hole in a floor, running Ethernet cables, and we turned our extender into a access point instead of a bridge or whatever. So I'm not a networking guy, but basically the extender is Ethernet hardwired into the router so it can hopefully expand the signal. It's not. 0.17 megabyte download. My phone, it's getting 80, which is a lot better than the 20, 30 it was getting. So that's an improvement. But the problem still lies in with, okay, we're getting about 12 down. Okay, we're settling at about 7 down, which is better than the one I was getting. But nonetheless, this Wi-Fi is not going to be enough. But see this upload? 0.4 megabytes per second. I don't know how it's physically possible to get that low of a speed. We're going to have to figure something out. I think the solution I'm going to do is we're going to keep the extender hardwired in and set up like it is, because that is improving some things. That'll help our smart switches and outlets and things, because like this needs to be on the same network as, so like our monitor lights in the back, they need to be on the same network as the computer to sync up, which is really annoying, and that's what's causing some issues. So all our smart things and our computer need to be on the same network. So I think what we're going to do is grab a network switch, keep the extender hardwired in as it is for all our smart devices, and then we can pull off that network switch and hardwire straight into our PC. It's really annoying. Not really what I want to do, but we're closer. We're a step in the direction. So one step at a time, but I'm just sick and tired of spending all this time trying to figure out dumb Wi-Fi when I should have I have 300 megabytes per second. And I get it's going through floors, I get it's going through walls, and I didn't place the router at the right spot that I should have originally when it was installed. But still, 0.2 upload, 0.6 download. That's not right. I don't know. Rant done. I actually think I found enough slack to get it all the way over here, which is awesome. We'll cable manage this later. It's going to be close, and we're going to just try this out and see if this actually helps anything. I'm hardwired all the way, probably 75 feet into the router. Let's do a speed test. 350, baby. All right. So that was definitely the problem. Our extender's going to suffer now. That feels so good. Okay. I mean, live stream's not going to be an issue. We got 360 upload. That is solved. I knew hardwiring it in was going to be the best solution, so. And then I'm going to continue to oh gosh. Our wood filler dripped down back here. It's gross. Can you see that? It's gross. Anyways, it's a different problem. Right now, we're going to drill some holes into these sideboards. I think we're going to do every one on this side just so we can route power, because we don't have power to our power strip at all. So yeah, we're just going to grind that out. But now we can finally thread our lights through for our logo, so that can actually have light now. All right, rest of our brackets came in. We can get these installed. How did I do this? One more. Hopefully this fits. It's like an inch too long. What do I do here? This should have fit perfectly. These are all 1 foot, and this is an even 8 feet. So 8 of these should have been perfect. Why am I a little off? Why's it got to be all these stupid little problems? It got so twisted. I don't even know how it's possible to get that twisted, but I'm going to start putting the diffuser track in. You can see how the diffusion helps this shadow right here, which is really cool. Okay, last one installed. Honestly, don't know if I love how it looks. I just don't know if I like the placement of the lights. The light it gives off, feel like it's just weirdly top down. The visible strip is kind of ugly. So I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know. We're going to live with it for a little bit, but I don't know if I'm going to keep this. I feel like Choice Buyers. The lights. Almost made it all the way to the bottom. What's cool is it's going to move when I talk because it's sensitive music. There are modes to go with music, which is fun. But some of them, it's giving me a headache with the strobes. So we got to figure out which one to do. Like it syncs okay. I wish it synced a little better, but it's almost a little delayed. Which makes sense. But it's hard when you know the songs, you know the beat, the rhythms, the vibes. You want it to match exactly. It's just not going to, but it's still cool. Like it should be huge right here. It's not. Kind of got it, but not fully. We need to drill one hole back through this wall. Since we don't have power to any of this stuff, we should be able to hide it way down here so you don't see it though. Never mind, the battery died. Drill swap. No way. Now we can route our cable back so we can move this back up there. But now that begs the question, what do we do with this guy? I do think I want it in this corner. We need to kind of fill in this corner. We've got a lava lamp. So I think we'll put it here and figure out what to do with it after that. But before that, we're going to drill a hole down so we can hide some of these cables. We're going to need an extension for that. We can throw this up there. Do you like that? Is that cool? It is fully functional. We've even got a keyboard and a mouse for it. I bought it honestly just because I thought it looked cool without any plan for it at all. It doesn't have Wi-Fi, so we'll need to hardwire it in if we want to use it. My only thought is to use this as a, you know what, let's just hook it up to internet. I think our 300 megabytes per second might actually destroy this thing. Oh gosh, this is gonna get complicated. I'm gonna figure this out off screen. Okay, I got it loaded. It was more, you need to use this for old websites because modern websites won't work. It also doesn't help that half my keys don't work, the N key, the period key, so that's fun. Yes, I can't get this thing to connect to the internet at all, even though it seems like I should be. So this is going to be a long-term project, I think. Ultimately, I think the goal with this iMac G3 would be cool to, I've seen people like mod it to be a Spotify player, controller. I think that'd be kind of fun, especially if you're going to have like the album artwork displayed on there. I don't know, it'd be kind of cool. But then I also think it'd be cool to download some old Illustrator, Photoshop, other art apps, not Microsoft Paint, I guess, because it's Microsoft, but you know the idea, some cool old vintage art apps, and see if we can make a fully fledged design on this thing. But that's going to be a more long-term project, so like and subscribe for that video. No idea when that's going to come out, but at some point it will. Subscribe anyways. Either way, we've got the start of a cool little vintage tech corner. The blue matches our theme. We got a lava lamp. We'll probably add some more trinkets here, but it's a fun little vibe for now. Let's get our live stream all set up. One of our shots is going to be right here. It's going to look down onto a screen printing press so you can kind of get a top-down view of what we're screen printing. I think it's going to be a really cool shot. So now we can get our GoPro screwed in. I'm just kind of using up old cameras that I don't use anymore. It's a GoPro Hero 4. It is 4K and, you know, for a stream, it'll be enough. Then we'll plug in our cable for power, so it's constantly powered. Just have to route that, obviously. And then our HDMI. So this is going to be a little bit of a complicated process. A lot of different conversions. Try to explain them all to you. But basically right now this is, I always forget if it's micro HDMI to an HDMI splitter. And we'll explain why this is going to a splitter next. And then we'll have to run this HDMI cord all the way over to our computer. We made a mounting plate for the TV that's going to be a monitor for this camera. It's got a split feed out. And we're just going to throw it up from the joist. If it looks crooked, it is, but I'm going to show you why in a second. So it slots in like this. Now we can have it this way, or we can move it this way. So since it moves, we can kind of move it wherever we want. Thought that'd be kind of fun to have some flexibility. Kind of wish I tilted it though, so it's kind of angled down. I don't want to mess with it though. Just gonna put an outlet extension cord up here with a couple of things we need to power. That's not what we want. So we can get this plugged in, our converter plugged in, then our camera power plugged in. I bought a 10-foot long cable thinking I was gonna have to stretch it too far. Now it just stretches to here. And it's too late to return it. What are you gonna do? Then we can take our 10-foot power cable and route it all the way over here and back here into our smart outlet. We'll cable manage this. I think that's gonna be a good length. You never know when you're buying cables if they're gonna be long enough. You can see the press cam up here though. You can kind of monitor it. It's kind of sweet. It's black and white. I feel like that kind of adds the vibe. And then we can switch, move it around for, I don't know what, but we can move it around. It's kind of cool. And I'm going to place another mount up on this joist. It's going to overlook our tie-dyeing. Actually got to decide if I want to do this one or this one. I might go straight top down, actually. Okay. It's the pro math of how you find center of something. This is a GoPro Hero 3, so it's a little older, but it'll be good enough. Then we'll take both of those HDMIs and route them to our computer where we've got some HDMI capture cards in our USB slots. I grabbed an extender. We'll figure out this mess of cables at a later date. And a later date, that pretty much means in like 2 minutes your time, but you can see our 3 HDMI capture cards right here. Our third camera is going to just be the one we've been shooting with right now. That'll be set up as like a main hero shot. Let's see what those look like. That's our overhead shot. That needs some work. That's a bit more straight, but we're gonna need some better lighting. I got a new capture card for that overpress camera too. All the other ones are HD, which isn't a huge deal. But I got a 4K one just so we can shoot 4K and then crop in the middle. I don't know if it's gonna work. So I just looked it up. That era of GoPro doesn't output 4K over HDMI. So as annoying as it is, we're just gonna have to put an SD card up there and climb up and grab it when we need the footage for reels and stuff. Looks like live streams are 1080p only though, which is dumb, but what can you do? Okay, it's not the most secure thing, but I think it's gonna be secure enough for a minor camera rig. We'll slot our mount in, and then it's got a slot for a camera and a light. We don't have a light yet, but we're definitely gonna need it. It's a little dark over here. We're gonna have to move this too. But these goals are kind of dead anyways. These are both height adjustable too, which is nice. We might paint this mounting bracket white too, just to blend it in with the wall. Not that it's too noticeable, but depending on how we feel about it, change that. All right, you're mounted up on there now. We're gonna route it into the computer with an HDMI cable. See how you look with the live stream. Might swap out the lens too. This is a little too wide, I think. Okay, now we need to start managing all these cables. This is a train wreck. I have these to screw into our wall here, these cable channels. Honestly, I think we're gonna have so much cable, we might need 2. All right, now we can slowly start channeling our cables down. It's our power cable. All right, now we got some room to slot things in there. Not bad, actually. As long as we can get this slotted on top. Oh, think we got it. Not perfect, but not bad. I'm gonna end up doing a second parallel channel. This one will probably just be for our HDMI cables, since the first one has been just for power. But they'll be a nice system anyways. Then we're gonna put some channels in here too, so we can neatly route things. We will see if one channel is enough. I'm not confident that it will be, but we can at least get this mess figured out. I don't know if we're gonna be able to fit much more than that. Oh yeah, that's tight. That's all we're gonna be able to fit, so got it. Then we'll route our other cables up. This is our Ethernet and one of our HDMIs. Bought cable clips that screw in. Now it's just about finding the right size and hoping we have enough. Sweet. Now that'll be very secure. It's not going anywhere. Used every single cable clip that I bought. Could have used a couple more, but we made it work. I don't think things are as clean as I wish they were, but I'm not a cable manager. I know there's people who take this way more seriously than I do, but it looks good enough and we don't have cables hanging everywhere. Now we need to mount an extension cord up to our outlet. For now, let's get it just so we can plug a cord in here, which it pains me to do this, but we got to drill in here. Okay, the good news is our retro TVs are going to go right here, so kind of hide that hole a little bit. And our logo finally has light again. Now we can get our tech set up. There's no reason for this other than I love old vintage CRTVs, so they're just going to be kind of vibing in the background with our logo looping around. So, but we got a lot of cable management and stuff to do. Starts with an HDMI splitter, 4-way splitter. That way we can connect this to all 4 TVs. Then this HDMI converter for this TV, which is standard RCA, out 1. Then our first RF modulator. We're going to route that down through the holes through the bottom. Our second RF modulator for this TV, and then this monitor is actually a computer monitor, so we just need a VGA to HDMI cable. Okay, HDMI is connected. We need an input though. So our input is going to be a Amazon Fire Stick. That way we can cast to it, but also hack it so it's got a looping logo. So we'll pop that into the input. Now we need to power everything. Luckily, they're all USB, so we've got everything plugged into this extender right into our outlet. We'll plug in all our TVs first, too. Probably a good idea. Okay, let's power this up. Getting anything? That doesn't look good. Oh, we are. All right, there we go. See if our Fire TV stick's off. If that's the issue. Basically, I just had to set up the Fire TV stick, so I'm hoping that is all I needed to do. Now it should work. Oh, there we go. So it wants to be in PAL instead of NTSC. That is interesting. Well, let's change everything over to that, I guess. That's frustrating, since that's not the American standard. I don't know what I did, but it's working. It was because I swapped the auto turn on devices in the Fire Stick settings. Gotta see if this bottom monitor is gonna turn on. Out of scan range. It looks cool, but that's not what we want. What's cool though is since it's on a Fire TV stick, we can have it kind of show album art while playing music. So that's kind of fun. I can have it play on these TVs, which is entertaining. Which is kind of a vibe, honestly. So I've got all our TV setups. This is what's going to be looping in the background. I tried forever to find a solution that would auto start on boot of the Fire Stick to start this up in an app, and I just couldn't get anything to work. If you know of anything, let me know down in the comments below. I ran into some issues anyways, so I have everything on this tech setup shelf set up to a power outlet that is then hooked up to a smart outlet. That way I can automatically, with one button, turn all this on. This TV defaults to the wrong channel and doesn't turn on. I have to turn it off then on for it to turn on. This is the only TV that automatically turns on when I turn that smart outlet on. So there's going to be a bit of manual setup with this anyways. It's not going to be as automatic and automated as I wanted it to be. But you know what? There's something nice about having kind of like a routine and a setup to, you know, start the studio up and all that. Besides this stuff, everything else is pretty automated. So let me show you that. I bought one of these. It's got 2 buttons on it. It can control like smart outlets and lights and stuff. So now I can just click this button, studio turns off. Click it again, studio turns on. Pretty sweet, especially since we probably got like 10 different smart things. So yeah, bye.